Hey, Steve Meoni here doing the junkyard crawl, and let's talk about Corvairs for a few seconds here. Now, we all know that the Chevy Corvair arrived in 1959 as a 1960 model and died in 1969, about a decade later, thanks to Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed. A lot of people forget the fact that there was also a light truck version of the Corvair, like this. This is a Corvair 95 series CorVan. There was also a ramp-side pickup truck, but something about the CorVan that was pretty cool was the fact that they had an amazingly low load floor because, like the Corvair passenger car, the engine's in the back. But this one is really unusual. This is a very base 1962 CorVan with the optional 8-door package. Check this out. More often than not, this side of the body on a CorVan is sealed. It's closed up. The only functioning doors are on the passenger side here on the right. Well, this one has the optional walk-through body, which is incredibly rare. It's very pure 3-speed manual transmission up there. That was the base transmission, and very, very pure and original in so many ways. And that 3-speed stick feeds a pair of rods that come all the way back to the rear of this thing, where the transaxle lives underneath this box. So it's a pretty cool piece. But again, Corvair and van, yeah, they go together. Now, these were made from 61 through 64. The Chevy van, as we know, the Chevy van arrived in 1964 and pretty much put these things way out of their misery. But come on around the back, let's take a peek and see what makes this thing so weird. This little vent right here, they're on both sides. That is how the engine gets its cooling air. And if you think that a Corvair has a radiator or needs coolant, think again. If you look right here, you'll see this little tiny door. This gives access to the Boxer 6-cylinder engine, which is an aluminum die-cast piece. Here's the oil filter right here, and that's the oil filler. But you might say, how the heck do I service this darn thing? Right here. You lift up this panel, and there it is. Now this is I believe a 145 cubic inch flat 6, 2 carburetors. You'd think, wow, it's a muscle vehicle, right? No, standard equipment was a single 1-barrel for each bank of that engine. And this is the ill-fated, it did seem to work, but this is the belt that drives and spins that fan, which is the duct that draws air around the cylinder bores to capillary action, or whatever you want to call it, sucks the heat away. But again, the air is ducted from the outside through those holes in the body into this region right here. Now, the crazy thing is, these were not really that badly known for overheating, and they work pretty well. Now, the thing is, in Corvair passenger cars, there's a thing called the Monza engine with 4 carburetors. There was even a turbo. You might wonder, were they available in the van? Or no, the answer is they were too tall to fit underneath this load floor. So these were strictly utilitarian workhorses. But this one is very pure. Check this out. The battery is right there. And there it is, the original Delco yellow cap battery right there. That's like amazing. It's astonishing that thing's still here. But it's kind of weird. The Corvair vans and pickup trucks took a very narrow, long battery. It's a 12 volt. But with that said, that's the original battery in this thing. Now this is a sadly, scavenged example. The entire roof skin has been sliced away somewhere along the line. Hopefully it went to save another CorVan. But here it is, 1962 Chevy CorVan. Now, something about Corvair vans, unlike the passenger cars, in 1965, the passenger cars went from true swing axles where the rear tires could do this kind of weird stuff to a more articulated double U-joint half-shaft deal, 1965 through 69. And that really kind of saved the handling. But on the early 60 through 64 passenger cars and all pickup trucks and vans, there was this wonderful or not so wonderful swing axle deal. So watch this. I'm going to bounce on the rear bumper. Watch that rear wheel. The camber is going to change. So I'm going to jump up and down. You can kind of see where when I squinch down on it, the tire tips like that. And the thing with that is that when you're going around a corner, the rear tires tend to cuck in like that. The contact patch goes from like this to like that. And the handling is tricky at best. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to drive a Corvair van or a ramp-side pickup truck in any way that's going to encounter or encourage that kind of a problem. But if you had, say, a Monza or a Corsa Corvair passenger car, a convertible or a little roadster or a coupe, and you got enthusiastic flying around corners, you might find that swing axle's tendency to change camber at the rear could introduce some tail swing, especially with the big flat 6 engine in the back, which is quite a bit heavier than the Volkswagen 4, which these are sort of patterned after. after. So a lot of folks driving Corvairs enthusiastically found themselves facing the wrong direction because of that swing axle. But again, by 1965, passenger cars corrected the issue, but never happened in the vans. The thing that killed the van was the arrival of the more traditional Chevy van, which was an answer to the Ford Falcon van of 1962. So here it is, a 1962 8-door CorVan. Pretty rare bird right here in the junkyard. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Maggs YouTube channel.